you will learn about the curiosities and challenges faced by the producers and actors of the series I Dream of Jeannie for American TV. I Dream of Jeannie was aired in the United States between 1965 and 1970 and later to the world. It all started back in 1965 as a black-and-white series filmed for broadcast on American TV talk shows, like the acclaimed series Star Trek, Bewitched, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, The Time Tunnel, and other wonderful series from the 60s, praised by critics and with advanced productions for their time. The series I Dream of Jeannie started modestly, being filmed in black and white to reduce costs, despite color TV already being available. However, this black and white fact left an eternal mark on world TV, as this series truly made the transition to color films with a piece in black and white. Despite starting in black and white, the brilliant plot quickly took off in the ratings and then exploded with the new color filming. This allowed the series to show other tones of life to Americans who followed the mini-novella stories on TV in the United States. There was no longer a need to show cold deserts on other planets, travel through time, or go to the bottom of the sea to attract the audience. Now, a beautiful pair of actors and a lot of hidden romance with a touch of exaggerated magic from TV special effects were enough. Jeannie and Tony, in the plot, formed a perfect duo to boost the ratings, anchored by the beauty and smiles of Barbara Eden. The character of Jeannie, the genius Jeannie, was of that type of genie from the 1001 Nights of Alibaba in Hollywood movies, in stories over 2,000 years old in the East. The beginning of it all. The series began on a remote island, where a strange bottle washed up on a beach after a storm the previous day. The well-balanced script pointing to a bottle as the center of attention was quite different, and on a beach on a distant island. This was indeed a master key to capturing the curiosity of the audience starting the series in front of the TV. Suddenly, Major and astronaut Tony Nelson, who had crashed nearby after a flight experiment for NASA, appeared, anxiously awaiting the Navy rescue team. Tony, played by Larry Hagman, found that strange bottle and liked it, but kept it with him for a while as he was anxious about the rescue that had not yet arrived. These scenes were made to create more suspense for the audience, and I confess it worked because I have watched them several times and still get surprised by them today. Regarding the content of the bottle on the beach, I suggest you follow the series during your free time, as it is great fun on the couch in your living room, of course, with Brazilian guarana and natural popcorn. In the next scenes, Barbara Eden, the beautiful and charismatic Jeannie, with dazzling smiles on her young face, called Tony Nelson master. And we understood that she truly fell in love with him, love at first sight. This passion, initiated on a distant island and under a situation never seen before on TV, was the spark that made the series, I Dream of Jeannie, take off along with Nelson, going to the moon. The success began on the beach, and from the first minute of the first episode of the first season of the series, premiered in 1965, the duo of actors created an engaging and sexy chemistry between them. However, the Major insisted on keeping the romance hidden, fearing that Jeannie might hinder his military career, now on the rise along with the ratings and critics. Tony Nelson was a military astronaut in the incessant testing phase for NASA, and theoretically could not have romantic distractions that would harm him in NASA's and the Air Force's rocket program. These mysteries imposed by the screenwriter and other curiosities during the recordings, suggesting military responsibilities and space reach, helped captivate the American audience of that time even more. But it still works today with new audiences that will always emerge. The infallible formula for the plot's success mixed light comedy, spectacular TV special effects magic, military uniforms, the NASA name, and don't be surprised, even a safari in another dimension in past times happened, with a real lion in the filming. But the fatal plot for the series and incredible acceptance by the public was indeed the hidden romance between the couple, Jeannie and Tony. Another interesting fact during the recordings was Jeannie's magic, very well produced by the TV production team's special effects in various situations of the recorded programs, which were so successful that they started using them in the competing series, Bewitched, also a great success on TV. However, there were many other curiosities about the production of the series Jeannie and Tony that were hidden from the general public, and now you will learn about them here on the Cine Reel and Cine TV channel. Jeannie and Tony were separated for over 2,000 years, but now, after Jeannie emerged from the genie bottle again, it was love at first sight. With incredible chemistry between the series actors, combined with the famous Arabian genie bottle, They even managed to have a real lion on the set for realism in some scenes. Barbara was simply divine in beauty, charisma, and youthfulness. An interesting fact is how they filmed several episodes of the series without showing Barbara's real pregnancy belly, noting that this pregnancy was from a real marriage and had nothing to do with the series. Another extreme curiosity was when a scene with dubious images was aired, leading to censorship on American television and the extreme act of canceling the series, I Dream of Jeannie. However, the series shone for 5 seasons and enchanted millions of people worldwide between 1965 and 1970, and it continues to this day in the 21st century. The magic of Barbara Eden as the charming Jeannie and Larry Hagman as astronaut Tony Nelson began with the chemistry between them. And this was one of the biggest secrets to the series' success, keeping viewers glued to their TV screens waiting for the next episode, even without having watched the last one. Thus, episode after episode, the series was outshining its competitors and elevating Jeannie to the status of a Hollywood movie star. In fact, the series could have lasted longer than its beautiful 5 years and 5 seasons, but every storm passes one day. During the first season in 1965, Barbara Eden faced a personal challenge to hide her pregnancy during the recordings, and this was well managed in the first 10 episodes. However, she managed to perform with the help of body doubles and special effects, and nothing was noticed by the public. In a state of shock, one day, Larry Hagman was caught by surprise when he arrived at the recording location and received the news that the series had unfortunately been canceled. The actor was in a state of shock and deeply shaken, and he was not seen in public for years. Another curiosity during the series recordings was when the production decided to hire a real lion to film some scenes of the plot. And what was the problem with that? The beast, upon seeing Larry, let out a roar that shook the cameras, as if telling Larry that the female already had a friend and that he should be warned. The explanations for the feline behavior were that the king of animals was tamed to calm Jeannie, a female, but the presence of Tony, a male, was strong enough to spill the soup and make the big cat sound the alarm by roaring at Tony. A territorial roar was heard throughout the TV, and the warning was given to Tony. Fortunately, there were no more incidents with the giant feline, but the presence of the lion in the recordings added a touch of adventure and suspense to the recordings and increased the audience. In the second season, I Dream of Jeannie gained a new shine with the introduction of its famous opening theme song. With a catchy melody and easy lyrics, the song captivated fans' ears, adding a special touch to the magical and whimsical world of the series, filled with vibrant colors. This new energy became a signature of the show, marking the beginning of each episode with a cheerful and engaging vibe. However, not all changes were welcomed with open arms. Barbara Eden, the talented actress who brought the charismatic Jeannie to life, did not agree with the direction the series was taking. She was against the marriage of the characters Jeannie and Tony, as she knew it would break the dynamic of the hidden and fun romance with the major, which was the heart of the talk show, said Barbara. Her concern was understandable, as the chemistry between the characters Jeannie and Tony was the main factor that kept the show on track, captivating more and more viewers and TV critics. Despite Eden's concerns, the writers and producers decided to move forward with the wedding plot. Even so, they tried to preserve the lightness and playfulness that defined the relationship between the two. To the surprise of many, the wedding did not drastically alter the essence of the show. The chemistry between the characters remained intact until 1970, but the audience lost interest and no longer enjoyed the couple's romantic adventures and magic. The decision to introduce the theme song to present the series was very good, but the story of announcing the characters' wedding was the anchor that sank the series for good. "Don't change a winning team" is a saying in Brazilian soccer teams, and that's what the series producers did. They changed the formula and messed up the recipe for success achieved until then. Misinterpretations of the audience's and critics' behavior after these new developments indicated a new dose of excitement in the ratings, but the effect was the opposite. Fans ended up complaining about the long years without a definitive union of the couple, and now they saw that sudden interest in marriage as a marketing ploy to attract attention, which led. The inspiration for I Dream of Jeannie came from a 1964 movie called The Brass Bottle, where Barbara Eden also played a genie. The success of the movie led to the creation of the TV series, which quickly became a classic in its own right. And it doesn't stop there. I Dream of Jeannie even inspired an animated series created by the famous Hanna-Barbera studio, responsible for animated classics like The Flintstones and Scooby-Doo. In the cartoon titled Jeannie, a teenage surfer finds the magic bottle, triggering a series of comedic and magical adventures. I Dream of Jeannie continues to be a classic of romantic comedy for American TV series. The mix of comedy and fantasy romance still captivates young audiences, inspiring new generations of fans of this classic TV series. Barbara Eden shone, earning 2 Golden Globe nominations and appearing in several TV shows, with her career skyrocketing to the stardom coveted by many Hollywood actors. In 1996, Eden made a special appearance in the movie A Very Brady Sequel, where she reprised her role as Jeannie, delighting fans of the classic series. Besides I Dream of Jeannie, Eden starred alongside her former co-star Larry Hagman in the popular series Dallas. In a fun moment, she joked about the possibility of marriage between the characters, reminiscing about her time as Jeannie and Hagman's iconic role as J.R. Ewing. This nostalgic reunion brought laughter and emotions to fans of both series. The series I Dream of Jeannie went through unexpected changes for the team and actors. To increase the audience, the NBC network, owner of the series, decided to create a big publicity stunt announcing that Jeannie and Tony would get married in the upcoming scenes. This increased the pressure for higher ratings in every episode, causing anticipation in the production and among the actors of the series. But the audience, which was already high, skyrocketed, going to space along with astronaut Tony. But the unexpected happened. In the wedding scenes, the TV reception was flooded with a tsunami of negative reactions and wrong conversations, which ended up reflecting in the ratings again. With the rumors and public chatter, the series was suddenly canceled, and no one knows the real reason for it. The risks that came with the bold marketing strategies and the excitement to see Jeannie and Major Nelson finally get married did not maintain the expected enthusiasm among female viewers. Shortly after the big event, the ratings, which were sky-high, plummeted drastically, like a rocket returning from the moon. All of this diminished the charm of the surprise, but now we know that NBC TV decided to cancel the program in 1970, citing low ratings and high costs as the main reasons. But today, dear fans of the series Jeannie and Tony, I Dream of Jeannie will never leave the hearts of fans around the world. The series will always be relaunched so that future generations can learn how to make a TV series and how to conduct the chemistry of a couple in a series. Long live this wonderful series that immortalized its authors, directors, and actors. What really happened for the series to end overnight? One of the most impactful moments of this long and beautiful love story between Jeannie and Tony happened with the end of the series in 1970. After the show ended, on a routine day on the now-closed sets, a fire started and burned everything. But this practice of using fire to replace the old was common to destroy sets and reduce maintenance and storage costs of unproductive scenarios. But for the show's devoted fans, it was the final nail in the coffin of a much-loved classic series. However, the charm of Barbara Eden and Larry Hagman remains alive even today in the 21st century, with many people appreciating this charming magic created for American TV. The series was no longer at its peak after 5 years of routine and the Jeannie and her beloved master's magic. The popularity in the ratings dropped to near zero, and the critics did not forgive the fact that the NBC network, owner of the series, decided to make a risky marketing move with publicity announcing the marriage of the main characters, Jeannie and Major Nelson. This idea was to regain some audience with the series finale, but it backfired, and the ratings plummeted even further. So NBC decided to cancel the show, I Dream of Jeannie. You have just watched this documentary aired by the Cine Reel and Cine TV channel.